Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about books. And I know for some of you, you may not like books and some of you may like books. I was never a book lover when I was younger. I think one time in like first or second grade, I won a medal for reading so many books within a short amount of time or something like that. I don't know how I got it, but I got it and I was really proud of myself. But over the years, I was not a fan of reading. Every chance I got to not read, I took it. But as time went on, I read a little bit more. And when I met my friend probably 4 years now ago, they got me into reading again. I gave up on reading a few months ago. I don't know, I wouldn't say necessarily gave up, but I just didn't feel inspired to read as much. I do want to get back into it. Right now, I have a book that I haven't finished yet called Fangirl by Rowell. I don't know what page I'm on, but I'm not halfway through it yet. I need to start reading that again because I want to finish it. So my favorite book from her is Eleanor and Park, which is right here. So this was about two teenagers who fall in love, basically. And it's the year 1986, so they don't have things that we have today. So they have like the Walkman. If you don't know what the Walkman is, I can insert a photo right over here. But the little blurb says, set over the course of one school year in 1986, this is the story of two star-crossed misfits, smart enough to know that first love almost never lasts, but brave and desperate enough to try. When Eleanor meets Park, you'll remember your own first love and just how hard it pulled you under. So there's a lot of twists and turns in this book. There is a lot of, oh my gods, like, wow, that didn't just happen kind of things. It's a very sweet story. You will literally fall in love with Eleanor and Park so fast when you start reading this book. Like, I fell in love basically instantly with these characters that Rainbow created. Such a great, heartwarming, outstanding, emotional roller coaster to me. I don't get into books easily. It takes a really, really good book, in my opinion, for me to get sucked into it. And I literally got sucked into this book. I couldn't stop reading it. Every chance that I got, I picked it up and I read the book. And I think I finished it within less than a month. And that's incredible for me. I've never really read a book that fast before, to my knowledge. It's just such an amazing book, and the artwork inside, it's just phenomenal. It's just amazing. And then the back of the book has artwork too. It's just so good. And then this is Rainbow right here. But the artwork, the storyline, the twists and turns, the emotional roller coasters is just what you want in a book, in my opinion. That's what reels me in. You know, it's the right amount of everything, for me at least. I really, really highly recommend it. It's so good. I will put a link in the description below of where you can buy it. I got mine at Barnes & Noble, so I'll put that in the description, but I'll also put like Amazon or whatever down there too. But my second favorite book is Sold by Patricia McCormick. And this is what it looks like. And this is the back of it. And this is basically a fiction book, but it has real stories in it. So I will read you the back of the book. It says, I'm gonna butcher these names because they're not names I'm familiar with. Lakshmi is a 13-year-old girl who lives with her family in a small village in Nepal. Though she is desperately poor, her life is full of simple pleasures like playing hopscotch with her best friend from school and having her mother brush her hair by the light of an oil lamp. But when the harsh Himalayan monsoons wash away all the family's crops, Lakshmi's stepfather says she must take a job to support her family. He introduces her to a glamorous stranger who tells her she will find her a job as a maid in the city. Glad to help, Lakshmi journeys to India only to learn the unthinkable truth. She has been sold into prostitution. An old woman named Mumtaz rules the brothel with cruelty and cunning. She tells Lakshmi that she is trapped there until she can pay off her family's debt, then cheats Lakshmi of her meager earnings so that she can never leave. Gradually, Lakshmi forms friendships that enable her to survive in this terrifying new world. Then the day comes where she must make a decision. Will she risk everything for a chance to reclaim her life? So, it's a really touching, sad, but happy book. There are moments in here where I'm not kidding, I literally teared up because this stuff can really happen. People are sold for prostitution and it's horrible, and I wish that nothing like that would ever happen. It stinks because people do get into this, and there are people out there who are like Mumtaz, who, you know, cheat the people into staying there forever. They might not be paying off debt, but they might just be doing it because they're forced to do it, and it's awful. And I just can't wrap my mind around what these people think in their minds, that they think it's okay to do this stuff. And this book just brings you through a journey of this 13-year-old girl who is taken from her family, told that she's being brought to this place that's supposed to be nice, but then she finds out that it's not what she thinks, and it's completely outrageous. It's just it's a very touchy subject, so I would suggest reading this. It was my first book that I really got into, but if you are very sensitive to these subjects, then I would not recommend it for you. It's just so, like, well written, and when you look through the book, they're not like, it's not like a regular book, it's like little diary entries, and those are my favorite books to read. I know some people don't like that, but if you like look through, like, there's a title right there, so that's a little blurb, and then title right there, so each page is a different little diary entry. And I don't know if these entries are real, but they seem so real if they aren't. Like, you read this girl's entries and you're like, oh my god. Like, this poor girl is going through this time where she is helpless. And it's just, you see how it happens and how she gets to the place that she is at and what she's going through in that place, how she's feeling, what's going on, you know, what things are being done to her. It's not too graphic. It's not like really graphic. It's just like, you know what's going on by the words that she's using, but she's not literally saying, hey, this is happening to me, and this is exactly what's happening to me. You know, it's just like little words to kind of tell you, like, from afar what's happening to her. So it's not graphic, but you know what's happening, and it breaks your heart. Like, I would read it again. It's a really good book, and I'm not a big fan of reading, and these books, it's just, they're so good. If you're not sensitive about this sort of subject and you're okay with reading this kind of book, I would highly recommend it. It's such a touching book where it brings you into a mindset where you're like, holy crap, this stuff actually happens. These poor people, I wish I could do something to help. You know, like, I read this and I was like, oh man, like, there are women, men, boys, little girls, like, it's crazy. It opens your eyes to things that you don't normally think about, you know? But I highly recommend that book. Both books. So the third and final book on my favorite list is called This Is Where It Ends by, I'm gonna butcher this name really bad, I'm so sorry, Marieke Nijkamp. The first name is spelled M-A-R-I-E-K-E. Last name is spelled N-I-J-K-A-M-P. And this is the cover for the book. And it says, everyone has a reason to fear the boy with the gun. So that basically tells you that it's about school shootings. And again, this is a very, very sensitive subject. So I'm gonna read a little summary of the book, just like the other ones. And just be warned, this is a very sensitive subject, like I said before, and I do not wish this upon anyone in this entire universe at all. This is very, very horrible thing that happens in real life, not recently because of the whole pandemic and no one's in school, and I'm very thankful for that, but I do not wish this upon my worst enemy. School shootings are a very serious matter, and I don't like them just like everyone else, and I feel so sorry for everyone who lost anyone in one of those events, and I feel for them, and it makes me very sad to say that it does happen, and it shouldn't. It really shouldn't, and those people who are responsible for these sort of things should be getting the help that they need so we can prevent these sort of things from happening. Yeah, it's hard to know who it is or if it's gonna happen, or, you know, just to narrow it down to one person, but there are like clues and little things that you can notice about a person who isn't doing good and is not okay, and you always want to make them happy or tell them a joke or, you know, say, hi, how are you? You know, those people who are shy and quiet and don't like socializing, I'm not saying that they'll turn into this kind of person, but just in general, someone who is sad and needs a friend, you know, don't be afraid to say, hi, how are you? And like, just talk to them, maybe sit with them at lunch or whatever, you know. Things can happen to prevent events like this, and you never know who the person's gonna be. You never know when it's gonna happen. God forbid it ever happens again. I really wish these things has never happened, because lives have been taken who haven't even lived yet. And it makes me so sad to say that it does happen. So this book is basically all about that. It's about a group of friends. It's like point of views. Every like short paragraph is like a different person's point of view. So so-and-so says this and that's what's going on, and then a few lines later, so-and-so is seeing this and is experiencing this. Next line, etc. It's just basically a normal school day, and then things start happening. And these friends, you're reading all these friends, the different perspectives on what's happening and how they're feeling and what they're seeing and hearing. And it's very, very like sad and touching, you know, kind of thing that this happens in real life, and you're reading it and it's so like, it's not graphic at all. It's just, you're reading it and you just start thinking. So I'm gonna read, finally, after my little ramble, I'm gonna read a little overview of the book. It says, everyone has a reason to fear the boy with the gun. 10 a.m. The principal of Opportunity, Alabama's high school, finishes her speech, welcoming the entire student body to a new semester and encouraging them to excel and achieve. 10:02 a.m. The student gets up to leave the auditorium for the next class. Students. 10:03. The auditorium door won't open. 10:05. Someone starts shooting. In 54 minutes, 4 students must confront their greatest hopes and darkest fears as they come face to face with the boy with the gun. that's basically the little blurb. It's a really, really good book, and it's a book that really got me sucked into it. It was just a book where it's so realistic, and this is not based on a true story. This is just, you know, a little story that the author put together based on true events. Like, this stuff does happen, but the story itself is not true. It's just made up characters with, you know, made up scene and stuff. And you just walk through this day with these 4 students, 4 friends. You just walk through the day with them, with what they're experiencing, what they're seeing, what they're hearing, you know, what the person with the gun is doing and saying, and it's just unreal. You know, it kind of feels like you're there with them. That's how well the author describes what's going on and the different perspectives of these students. And I literally felt like I was there. Like, I could see what the students were seeing, because it really describes what they're seeing. I could like imagine hearing this stuff. I could, you know, it's just a really good book. It's well described, and it's just, I'm not one for reading. Again, I'm not. These 3 books have really opened up my mind of reading more than it was previously. And I highly, highly recommend these books. I will put links in the description below for the books. I'll put one down below for Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and probably Target. I don't know. But so I really, really hope these books seemed very interesting to you, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video about talking about these books and why I like these books and me suggesting them to you guys. Hopefully you will like them too. And if you end up buying these books or borrowing these books from the library or anything and you read them, make sure to leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of the book, what parts you liked, without giving much away from the books, and if you have recommendations for me for a reader who is wanting to expand her horizons, I guess you could say. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope you guys enjoy these books that I suggested. And again, I will put the links in the description below of these books, 2 or 3 links each to different places. I hope you guys have a great day or night, depending on where you're from or what time it is. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.